mortgage in America. It's no down payment, no closing cost or fees, no PMI, no consideration of your credit score. And guess what? It's at a below market fixed rate. NACA's just relentless. This is the NACA way.
Greetings, everyone. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Damien.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning. It is a beautiful day here at NACA, Damien. What's going on over there in Atlanta, Georgia? You're muted.
Rain. Too much rain. We just got a hailstorm last week, and now it just won't stop. It just won't let us go. But definitely, we still out looking for houses, even in the rain. With this awesome interest rate that we now have, it's just awesome. People are still looking for houses, even in the rain.
They're still looking, and guess what? At a 30-year fixed rate, we are at a 5.5, and on a 20-year, we're at a 5%, and a 15, we're at a 5% interest rate. And with our no money down, no closing costs, no fees, everybody, and you can buy down your rate, you still come into the best game in town. This is the best deal ever. You're not going to find anything like it. So welcome to our American Dream NACA's podcast show. And we are here today with a lot going on. There's some beautiful things to tell you. We got some of our latest and greatest updates and things like that. And we're gracious to have on here our team of regionals that are literally getting you one step closer to home ownership. That's right, one step closer to home ownership, making your dream a reality, giving you the tools of what you need to succeed right here. So guess what? I want you guys to reach out to us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. You can like us, love us, throw the thumbs up, throw the hearts up, do everything you want to do with us. You can find us on all your social media platforms. And for this podcast, you can reach out to us at 833-771-0500. That's 833-771-0500. Got a couple of updates. Guess what? If you have been wondering if our NACA offices are open, they are. You don't believe us? On Friday, April 14th, that's in 2 weeks, y'all. Friday, April 14th, we are having across the country in all of our NACA offices. Find the one nearest you because we are having a spring open house. That's right. Spring fling, y'all. A spring open house. So just find the NACA office that's closest to you, and you can come in from 10 to 5 all day, 10 to 5. You can come and find out information about what's happening in your office, what's new under the horizon. Meet your counselor. Find out, see your counselor face-to-face in person. Talk to the staff. There is a real estate agent that could be there. Find your agents that are there. Ask about job opportunities. Bring a friend, bring the family, but do what you need to do. Don't see me there, beat me there at any of your NACA offices. And that's, again, Friday, April 14th. And guess what? I got a nugget for you. You can come in and see if you can qualify to get a free tablet. That's right. Qualify for a free tablet. You want to know more about it? Come to your nearest local office and find out. Tell them, hey, that lady, that loudmouth of the South was talking, and she was telling us about this tablet that you can qualify for. Let me know about information about that. And it comes with internet, by the way. So you know how you get these tablets for Christmas and you can't do anything on it because you got to have internet to even make it active. So you want to get closer to your member portal? That tablet will get you one step closer to home ownership. Call us at 425-602-6222. Ask about it. Come to the local office and ask about it. Inquire. One thing that we're doing here is getting you closer to home ownership. With that, go ahead, Damien.
Also, just ask for the lady in control. Miss Control herself. Tell them the lady that's in control told you to come in. But also, what's important, this is not a drawing. Everybody, if you qualify, can possibly get it. So I don't want you to think, oh, no, this is a drawing. No, it's not a drawing. If you qualify, If all of your people come, you can all get one. Also, with that open house, if you have documents that you need to upload, now's the time to get it done. If you're not
Yes.
able, don't have
Yes.
internet, don't have a scanner, please make sure you bring your documents so that you can upload them. And now you can make sure that you have everything you need for your counseling.
Absolutely. But you know what? Nobody came to this podcast to hear me run my mouth, even though I am the mouth of the South. And nobody came to hear Damien sit here and rattle on. So, Damien, guess what?
What?
We're going to turn it over to the people who know how to get you qualified. I'm not talking about just regular old people. These are the OGs, the original go-getters, the never quitters, the hard hitters. These are the people that have the counselors under their helm. They are making sure that their team, they manage the counselors, you guys. That's right. This is the manager to your counselors. We have
Wow.
Washington Rouse on the mic. We have DJ Mercetic on the mic. We have Letitia Jeter on the mic. And they are gracing us with their presence. Child, let me tell you, there's a million and one things they could be doing right now, but they found it very, very important to talk and reach out to the people that they're trying to get closer to home ownership. So with that, Washington, DJ, Letitia, welcome, welcome, welcome. And I'm going to have DJ start and talk about who you are and what areas you represent, DJ.
Well, good morning. I just want to make sure everybody can hear me successfully.
Yeah.
Excellent. I sit in Washington, D.C. office, and I oversee the DMV area. DMV stands for D.C., Maryland, and Virginia. We have 3 offices in each one of those jurisdictions. First one is in Washington, D.C. The other one in Maryland is located in Baltimore City. And the last one in Virginia is in Richmond. So that's my team, and that's what I oversee. And it is not raining here. It's a beautiful day. So
Awesome.
it's nice to be out and about on Monday.
Awesome, awesome. Welcome, DJ. Letitia
Thank you.
Jeter.
Good morning, everyone. As stated, my name is Letitia Jeter, and I'm the regional director responsible for the Phoenix, Arizona office, Las Vegas, Nevada, Upland, California, Los Angeles, California, Sacramento, California, and my remote department oversees all the areas in which we don't have a local office. So whether you're in Utah, Wyoming, Oregon, New Mexico, we're here to service you.
Wow, wow.
Awesome.
That's a huge undertaking. That's West
Wow.
Coast and abroad, guys. Welcome,
Yes.
Letitia.
Thank you for
Welcome, welcome.
having me.
Thank you. Thank you.
Washington Rouse.
Hey,
Hi.
hello everyone. My name is Washington Rouse. I'm a regional director here at NACA. I service the Midwest, Ohio, and Michigan, and then all down through the Carolinas, Raleigh, Charlotte, North Carolina, where I'm here. It's a little cloudy here today, but and I can understand we're looking for some rain, and then on down into Louisiana, so Baton Rouge and New Orleans, and we're here to service you. So North Carolina, South Carolina, Louisiana, Michigan, and Ohio.
All right, all right.
Awesome.
That's a huge undertaking. And you know, I got to throw some extra love out there for that boot because that's where I'm originally from. Thibodeau, now you know. Okay, so getting right to it. We have some questions already coming in. First of all, Keisha Riley say, I achieved the NACA dream 4 years ago. Best decision in my life. Keisha Riley, congratulations, honey. We love to hear that. And I
Awesome.
hope you're enjoying
Awesome.
your beautiful NACA home. Crystal Matthews is saying, I achieved the dream back in 2021. So glad I stayed the course. And she is so right. You do have to stay the course. It is very, very key to do that.
And
Now,
for those who have achieved the dream, if you haven't already done so, make sure you share your testimony. You share your pictures on NACA website so everybody else can see the dream that you achieved. So now that encourages them that they can make it. They just need to keep persevering. So definitely share your testimony. Be willing to go to a home buying workshop, whether it's in person or a virtual, and also give your testimony there. We're always looking for testimonies to show what NACA can do and what NACA has done for you.
absolutely. Thank you, Damien.
Thank
Dominique Lanier is saying, does this apply to people waiting for an intake? When I was talking about the open house, can she come even though she's waiting for an intake? Anybody? Anybody? She can come to the open house.
She could definitely come. She could
Yeah.
definitely come to the open house. We may not be able to get a session for you then, but we can definitely get you to an open house and see if you have any challenges and go over what the process looks like. And you can meet your counselor if you're assigned to a counselor, which you should when you go into the portal. You can meet that counselor and actually put a name with a face. So please come on out.
And another thing I want to make sure you know, Dominique, that if you're preparing for your intake session and you have not uploaded your documents, there's a kiosk right there in the office of where you are at your local office. Bring your documents and go ahead on and get all of that out of the way, so it'll just make your appointment much smoother.
Also, if you're willing to work with the in-house agent, we also have where once you sign the buyer's brokerage agreement, we can get you an earlier appointment. So wherever you are, if you're willing to work with an in-house agent, if there's one in your office, they should also be in the office when you come in. So if you're willing to work with them, we can now get you an early appointment. So that's a little nugget, just FYI.
And before we have another question that's a big one, and I'm going to turn that one over to DJ in a minute. But I cannot. Gloria Tut King is saying, I achieved my homeownership dream in 2021 through NACA. Big shout out to Just LA Scorp, Jeter, Medea. They giving you some love out there, so I'm gonna give it to you too. I believe in giving flowers while they're here.
Hey,
Awesome.
Great.
And this question may help others. Tiffany Passetti is saying, look, how do I get started? What do I do? DJ.
Well, let's get you over to our website and you sign up for our home buyers workshop. So once you visit www.naca.com, hit on the banner that says home buyers, and the very first picture you see, it says get started with the workshop. This is the entry door to the NACA program. It is a required workshop to attend to start. Most of them are held on Saturdays. Every quarter or so, we do a Sunday one. There are two types: virtual, which is done through the Zoom platform, and the in-person one, if you have a local office close by. First Saturday of the month, we do our face-to-face. The second Saturday of the month, we do our virtuals. It's as easy as pressing the red little square that says get started with a workshop. Sign up for the one that suits your schedule. The workshop is a 4-hour class, 3 to 4 hour class, depending on the size. So you do have to have some time carved out for it. The purpose of it is to introduce you to the NACA program, to tell you all the ins and outs, and prepare you for qualification in your first intake session. So that's how you get started. If there's anything missed at the workshop, your counselor will pick up on, but the workshop is very extensive and it covers everything from A to Z. So I tell folks to come awake and ready to take notes of those workshops, because if they do everything well, the technology we have developed today, it would allow you to qualify yourself. So there would be no excuses to say, hey, NACA is busy, or we can't get an appointment, or, I can't drive to the office, it's far away. The technology we have put in place right now, in combination with that first step, which is the NACA Home Buyers Workshop, will allow you to qualify yourself. I kid you not. All you have to do is just pay attention. Now, there are some folks who are going to need some assistance from us. Who will need some counseling, who will need to get over some hurdles, and that's what we're here for. But again, I emphasize the first step is the workshop. Combine that with the member portal, which is state of the art and newly brought to you by NACA over the last couple of months. I promise you, you'll be easy peasy to get yourself qualified. All your counselor will have to do is nod the head and say, you've done everything you were supposed to. I'm pushing the button to get you approved.
I love it. Thank you, DJ. That was very, very thorough. I appreciate that. And not just for Tiffany Passetti, who asked the question. There's a couple of others. I see you, Tanisha. She also asked that question. And good morning to you too out there in Memphis. They're sending us shout outs. And I see 702 is up early this morning saying hello to the young lady who is This is on the phone call. Hello to the young lady who's representing Nevada. So Jeter, they're saying hello out there in 702 land. That's Nevada. And again, 833-771-0500. Keep the phone calls coming through. Interesting question coming up to you, Washington. A young lady is asking, how can I find others who have successfully completed the program with a Section 8 voucher? And I know we had some success in Newark. How real is it? Is it truly obtainable?
It's definitely real. It's definitely obtainable. We would need to search and get some testimonials for you for those folks that have actually closed on the loan. Right now, it is very big in Newark. We are doing a number of things there with the city of Newark, and we had a number of workshops in that area. In my region in Cleveland, we're also working in Portage County. We actually have a workshop coming up on the 14th for some homeowners that are looking to use their Section 8 voucher to obtain home ownership in Portage County. So it's definitely a phenomenal program. It has been making all of the difference for folks that that have that assistance and are able to take advantage of it, so that they can create generational wealth within about 15 years. Is what our goal is, and it is phenomenal. So it's definitely real. I guess my question would be, how far has you come along with it, and have you reached out to the regional in your area to find out whether or not so that we can, advocate for you and work with your county with the voucher?
Yeah. So Latrice Jones, tell us what city and state or what area you're calling from, so that we can work with the housing authority or the county in your area on the voucher program. And by the way, if you go to www.naca.com and click on testimonies, we do have a couple of closings that took place with the young lady and several others that took that Section 8 voucher and transformed it into home ownership. One story stands out particularly. That's why I always say the young lady, because her story stood out. She even went and got her a NACA shirt saying she did it. So check us out. Always look at the testimonials, because those are not scripted. Those are live, real life instances.
So,
Definitely.
regionals, have a question for people who are new and don't know that much about the Section 8 voucher program. Do they contact the housing authority first? Do they come to NACA? What would that step look like for them, so they know how to begin that process?
Well, it's a combination of both. So we don't have to do one then the other. We
Okay.
can work simultaneously. So one of the challenging part of Section 8 is there's so many different jurisdictions handled by so many different housing authorities. And unfortunately, we can't do one and all. So we have to work with each housing authority separately, and then find the best way to utilize the voucher. So the first thing I would suggest for the voucher holders is to find out whether that voucher can or cannot be used for home purchase. If the answer is no, then it is what it is. If the answer is yes, then you engage your local NACA office to work with that housing authority and set up the best way to utilize that voucher. NACA has a hot PHA, which stands for Home Ownership Through Public Assistance program, in which way we maximize the use of the funds that you get, so that you can afford a decent house. But it does require partnership between NACA and the housing authority, which has to be established. And again, NACA's goal is to utilize that voucher in the best possible way for the homeowner. So each housing authority works differently, and we do have to partner up with them, have a memorandum of understanding established, and the way to use the voucher. So again, step number one, call your local case manager, find out whether that voucher can or cannot be used for home purchase. If it can, introduce that to the counselor that's going to be helping you qualify through NACA, and then it's our job to partner with the housing authority and use the voucher. But it's case by case.
Thank you, thank you, thank
Awesome.
you. And good morning, 602. That's some more Jeter. That's West Coast, if I'm not mistaken. So good morning out there. Everybody's joining and tuning in, and we do appreciate you. Um, One other question we have, Jeter, and this is one that we get from time to time. So we want to clear this up for anybody who is not able to get their counselor. Barbara Mendez from Tampa, Florida, is saying anyone on from Tampa? I've been on this road since March of 2020. If you find that your counselor is a constant no-show, what would be the next step? Let's talk to her and help her and anybody else who is trying to reach out to their counselor or have an appointment with their counselor and their counselor don't show. What should they do, Jeter?
Have they reached out to the manager? If there's an office director, reach out to the office director. If not, the office director reach out to the regional so we could find out what the challenge or the issue is and why the counselor is not showing up on the calendar.
And another thing I'd like to add, if I'm Barbara Mendez, I don't know who the regional is or anything like that. There's a lucky number that you can always call. 425.
25-602-6222.
Right, that's 425-602-6222. Let them know I had a counselor appointment and it was a no-show and I need to talk to someone now. Just let them know
Correct.
I need help now, and they will escalate that and get that underway. Always reach out to us at 425-602-6222, or you can always send us an email at services@naca.com. That's services@naca.com. So definitely want to make sure that's addressed.
Awesome. Awesome.
Angel Mitchell is asking Washington, do we have to upload rental payments every month? Why I got to do that, Washington? Every month?
You have to upload rental payments every month. Yeah, because we want to make sure that the rent is current. And then there's more than one way to verify rent, right? So your counselor can send a verification of rent form to your landlord. We can verify rent with canceled checks and a lease, or we can verify rent with a rental ledger. So just depending on when the rental was verified, yes, we have to keep the rental current, because NACA rent is a baseline for affordability with NACA. So we want to make sure that the rent is paid on time, as agreed, and that we verify that it's been done from you out of your bank account. So we want to make sure that continues through your process, so we don't have any hangups when you get to credit access and then the file is going to bank.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks for that question also, Angel. Good morning, Tina. Tina Marie Jeter. Tina Marie is saying, good morning. Can a settlement or a loan be used as a down payment? Now, I just said no money down, no closing costs, no fees. But let's talk about that. Let's talk about minimum required funds and all of that. How do we address Tina Jeter?
Well, first, NACA has no down payment, no fees, and no points. So as far as you're saying interest rate buy down, you can use a settlement. So meaning like if you got in a car accident and you had a lump sum of money that you got, you can use that money for interest rate buy down. If you're saying that you want to take out a loan from your 401k, yes, we can use it, but we will add that debt to your ratios and it can possibly affect how much house you can qualify for.
Oh,
Now, if you're talking as far as before getting qualification, your minimum required funds, no, that money cannot be a loan because you can't have borrowed money to get your minimum required funds. But yes, you can still use the money that if you got an inheritance or a car settlement, that money can be used. I hope that answered your question.
yes. Thank
You
you,
mind if I
Jeter.
chime in on that just real quick?
Yes,
I just
absolutely.
want to make sure that yes, we don't have the down payment, but that doesn't mean you can't do it. We call that principal reduction. So same things apply with what was just said to that. So if you choose to do a down payment, you can, but it's not required. And other than the loan from your own 401k, no other loan can be used for anything. MRF, minimum requirement funds, which what it stands for, down payment or buy down.
Mhm.
Also, question: would you still want to see, even if I got a lump sum, say $20,000, you still want to see a monthly savings pattern, correct? that does not negate the savings pattern having a lump sum settlement.
No.
Yes, payment shock, which is basically for those who wish to qualify for more than they currently pay in rent. That's when we refer to savings pattern. That's what we mean. That's separate from minimum requirement funds and the funds used for down payment or buy down. And yes, we would like to see it in addition to that. So for those of you who recently got tax returns and claim that you saved $1,000, you didn't. You just got a tax return, which next month you won't have. So lump sums like settlements, tax returns, gifts, etc., do not count towards that savings pattern when we try to evaluate your affordability.
Okay, thank you.
And
Very
thank
good
you,
question.
DJ. So I have a question, and this is so cute. Is how people try to assist us in answering questions. Um, one is one of the people asked, "I have an appointment." This is from Kimberly Santafort. I hope I didn't butcher your name too much, Kim. Kimberly Santafort. I have my first intake appointment Wednesday. Congratulations. It's a Zoom appointment. When should I expect the Zoom link? And thank you for Melinda for trying to answer it for her. When can I expect my Zoom link if the appointment is on Wednesday?
Appointment is on with.
Uh-huh. Jeter?
It just depends. You have some counselors that send you their link the day before, a couple of days before, but they'll send it to you right up until maybe 10 or 15 minutes before your appointment. So you can get it all the way through 10 or 15 minutes right before your appointment. They can send it in advance. Some people try to be proactive, right? So they might send it to you when they're doing your confirmation 10 days, 3 days, same day, 10 or 15 minutes right before. If your appointment is say 9 o'clock, you could probably still get the link up until 8:59.
Wow.
So there's no standardization amongst when that link comes.
When it comes to intakes, it's a little difficult to do it in advance because we have a dynamic schedule. So one of the things that we try to do is avoid moving or rescheduling appointments at all costs. So when it comes to an intake, you still haven't been seen by a counselor, and in your case hasn't been taken over by a particular counselor. So if, for example, I have an intake scheduled at 9 o'clock this morning and I had a flat tire, my intake will be assigned to somebody else who has an opening so that we avoid cancellations. And if I send you an invitation 3-4 days in advance, you're going to be joining the wrong one.
That's true.
So when it comes to intakes,
Thank
it's
you.
hard to do it in advance because it's still shifting. But when it comes to follow-ups, all our counselors use the same link, so you already have it, and you're not, they will remind you again probably the morning of, but you already have the link. You don't need it again. You just have to join at the right time.
All right.
Correct.
That makes perfectly good sense now. At first, when I heard it, I was like, wait a minute. But yeah, that makes sense. I'd rather not be canceled. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, DJ.
Thank you so much.
And Nancy Taylor. Nancy Taylor, I am loving this. Good luck on your housing search. You're at the fun part, picking your house. She says, I love the NACA program. I was just qualified and in my housing search. All right, perfect.
Great. Congratulations.
Now, Tina Marie is asking a very good question. Does a garnishment, Washington, does a garnishment affect eligibility?
Does the garnishment affect eligibility? No, it's going to affect affordability. It's not going to affect your eligibility. So it depends, on how the garnishment basically affects your debt, right? We have to include it in your debt, whatever the payment is, and so it's going to affect your affordability, not your eligibility for the program.
Got you. Absolutely. Thank you, Washington. And shout out for Shamika, who is saying, good morning, everyone, from McDonough, Georgia. So good morning to Shamika. Here's an interesting one, Jeter. She says, how would we know if NACA had a regional in Springfield, Massachusetts. So if they're in Springfield, where should they go?
They will call into the 425-602-6222 number. Springfield is close to Boston,
That's going to be
right?
Boston. Yes, that's going to be Boston.
So more than likely you'll be assigned to the regional that's over the Boston, Massachusetts office. But when you call in the 425-602-622 number and then you give them the area that you're in, they'll let you know who the regional is over that area.
Awesome.
Here's an interesting one, and we're trying to I'm trying to go as fast as we can. We only have a few minutes left, but Chiquita asked an interesting question, DJ. Okay, Chiquita asked, "How does a divorce impact the NACA program? If in the divorce decree the husband got the home, how will having an invested interest in the property interest impact qualifying for NACA, if any at all?"
That is a good question. So if the house is awarded to the spouse in the divorce decree, it most likely will not affect your eligibility requirement to come through NACA, because most of you already know that no interest in the home ownership in the household is a requirement. However, if you're still on the loan and the deed, that might cause a problem. So what we would have to find out is, because each state is specific when it comes to divorces and vested interests. So you would alert you. Well, your counselor will know that when they pull the credit, that you're still on the loan. Now, if you're divorced and the house has been awarded to the spouse and you're not on the deed or the loan, that settles it. The divorce decree will settle it. If you're never been on the loan, but you were on the deed and the divorce awards the house to the spouse, all you have to do is a quick claim deed and get yourself off of that deed so you're no longer vested. The only one that poses an issue is if you're still on the loan, because technically speaking, you're still responsible for that mortgage payment because you're on the loan. The only solution I have for that right now is to refinance, but that might be a tall order with the interest rate rises and all of that. So I again, it would have to be evaluated a little bit further based on the state and the laws that govern the divorces and who gets what. So I would, if you're on the loan, it would have to be a state specific answer. We would reach out to a title company. We would consult with upper management and see what's the best solution for that, because we don't want to cause financial harm. So if you're on the loan and it requires a refi and you bought 2 years ago and the interest rate on that loan is 2%, and now it's 6% or 7%, that gets a little trickier. One thing to remember is NACA is a character-based lender, and we have certain amount of discretion in the decisions we make, but it would have to be evaluated a little bit further.
Absolutely. That is good information, DJ.
Very
Thank you
good.
so much.
Welcome.
Washington, got a doozy over here. And I'm sure others have come across this as well, but you got to do what's right. Tanisha Eddington is saying, what about if your landlord is a slumlord and you are exercising your rights to hold your rent until repairs are made or until things are fixed? How does that affect her with the NACA program? Because she's not paying the rent. Tanisha says she's holding that rent, but you
Got
got
a
to have all
landlord
that.
dispute. The landlord's a slumlord. That about sums it up, right? Landlord's a slumlord. So,
But she's
so
gonna have some missed rent payments, though, Washington.
she's gonna have some missed rent payments. So she wants to be thorough in her documentation of the dispute, right? What happened? What has she done to, acknowledge that there's a dispute? So basically, well, first of all, she's gonna want to, make sure that she has been paying the rent up to and prior, right up into when she's having the dispute with the landlord. And then if she's exercising that right and she's filing documentation with the court, we want to have all that to document that there's a landlord dispute, and that's why she's not paying the rent. And in some cases, in some states, if it's gone to court, they may escrow the rent. They may take the rent from you from the courts, and they'll hold it, and then they'll decide what they should pay out and what they won't. But at the end of the day, it's important to make sure that it is all documented, right? You know, we have to have more than just your word that there's a landlord dispute and that you're holding the rent not because of a valid reason, not just because, you know, that just to validate that you're not missing rent payments. Because
Right.
again, rent is a baseline for affordability with NACA. It's the strongest criteria in our underwriting, and we look at it strongly when we're trying to assess your affordability. So those things are going to be well documented, right? Number one, your repairs that need to be done in the property, the communication that you've had with the landlord to say, hey, I'm disputing these repairs, you haven't done them yet, and you know they should be fixed. My house is just about inhabitable, or whatever the case may be. And then finally, the bank statement showing that you actually are holding the rent. The rent is in an account, and every month you have the rent to pay, but you're just not paying it because of that dispute. You have those things, and we won't have any challenges with getting you through underwriting.
Perfect.
Awesome.
Thank you. That's awesome. Jeter, Ms. Varshana Beasley is asking, if I could not locate my 1040 tax documents, can I upload a transcript instead?
Yes, she can upload her tax return transcripts. If she owes taxes in addition to the tax return transcripts, she'll have to upload her account transcripts to show that the tax bill has been paid in full. If she amended her tax return, she'll need to provide her record of account transcripts, because there are different types of transcripts. You just want to make sure that you upload the correct transcript.
Awesome.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. DJ, Super Candy 1978 is saying, good morning. I had to say it like that because I've never seen that before. Super Candy 1978 is saying, good morning. Will a pay now, pay later program disqualify you with NACA like a firm?
The short answer is no. Pay now. I mean, can you repeat it again? It was
Like buy here, pay here,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Kind of
buy
layaway
now,
thing.
pay later. Oh, buy now, pay later.
Yeah.
Right.
Those,
Buy now, pay later will not disqualify you. However, we are going to beat that out of your budget. You don't need it.
you don't need it.
If
Don't
you
do
don't
it.
have the money for it, don't buy it. One of the things that we focus on is budgeting, and true affordability. When it comes to the word affordability, there's no place for get it now, pay later for in within that concept. So we need to make sure that your budgeting is on point. Will it disqualify you? No. However, you will be counseled to not do that, because getting stuff that you currently don't have the affordability for and trying to buy a house at the same time, it just doesn't make sense.
Mhm.
So if there are emergencies, and again this goes into medical and things that are necessities for life, then yeah, we work with you, determine your affordability. But if you're shopping now and paying later for things that are necessities, then it's hard for us to determine what you can afford.
Right.
One thing I don't want you to think about is the very concept of what you just asked, right? If you're getting it now and paying for it later, it means you don't have the funds for it now,
Right. Don't
and
do
you
it.
shouldn't be messing around with buying things that you don't have the funds for while you're trying to figure out what your true affordability for a home is. So put it on a scale. Where's that home go, you know, on a scale of priorities?
Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean? So it's common sense approach that we take, and some members that come through make some adjustments in their shopping and overall finances.
Yeah.
Hopefully that helped.
That was excellent. That was the Super Candy girl. Don't do it. Super
We
Candy.
don't
1978.
sugarcoat things.
Yeah, that was
We're
it.
not bakers. We're mortgage
Yep.
counselors.
Yep. It was what she needed to hear. It wasn't, yeah, it wasn't what she wanted to hear because she wants it now. But if you got to pay for it later, that was the best advice ever, ever. Carol Williams is saying, my son and I purchased a home last year through the NACA program, and we are so happy. The value on our home increased by $30,000 since we have been living in it. And that, my friend, is generational wealth. Give them thumbs up, give them hearts. I love it. I love it. I love it. Congratulations, Carol. This is the last question, y'all. This is the last one because these are regional directors. I can't hold them any longer. They have to go take care of more people like yourself. But we got some bank account questions, and it's two of them that's coming. So I want to go ahead on and tackle these two. Angel Mitchell is saying, first question, I just opened my savings account. Is it okay if I transfer from my checking into my savings? That's the first question. And then we have another checking account question, and I'll ask that one. So Washington, take that one away.
Yeah, it's fine to transfer from your checking into your savings. You just want to make sure that you're still managing what's in your actual checking, right? And still kind of living within your means and by your NACA budget. It's fine to make transfers to the account.
All right. And Tiffany Passetti is saying, if I am starting from zero, no money saved, just open a bank account, how long does it take to do what we are required? I'm asking, and also, I just got out of jail. Can felons apply? Take it away, guys.
Yeah, felony has no bearing on you buying a house. So don't put that tag on yourself. Be glad, let's celebrate the fact that you're free and you're living life and you're moving forward in your life. That's number one, first and foremost. You're starting, it depends on how much income you're making, how much you're able to save, what your desire for home ownership is, what your desired mortgage payment is. So those are a number of different things that you're going to go over with your counselor. We generally look at about a $2,500 savings for a single family home. But if you're looking for a multifamily, maybe you want to try to take things to the next level, then you're going to be looking for probably a lot more in reserves. For a 2, 3, or 4 family home, you would need 4, 5, or 6 months of the reserves of the entire mortgage payment. But yeah, you're free. Let's make it happen. Everything's up to you now.
Absolutely. Guys, you know what? You guys are really hot today. All the regionals, you guys are hot. There's like 20 more questions. They're coming in. I can't take it. I can't stand it. But the old clock on the wall say I have to let these guys go so that they can continue to do what you guys are just so good at. DJ, Jeter, Washington, you guys are so good at making people's dreams of building generational wealth and home ownership a reality. And I can't thank you enough for your contribution and your time to the show. So thank you guys so much.
Great to be here. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you for having us.
And DJ, believe it or not, we got a shout out to you for the answer that you gave. So thank you.
You're welcome.
Very, very detailed. You guys just keep it going. Next show, I see now from the questions, the next show we have is going to be geared towards buy down. I got 6 questions in here just on buy down. They want to be walked through slowly, a visual aid of how to do the interest rate buy down. That's what someone is asking, and we're going to bring it to you. Next show, tune in soon. Damien?
Wow.
Time goes by fast.
Awesome. Thank you guys as always. We thank you for participating.
Oh, no problem.
Watch us on our social media platforms. Like us, love us, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, everywhere that you have social media, we're there. And as always, for the latest and greatest on our upcoming event in Lima, Ohio in April, that's April 28th, 29th, and 30th. And in Newark, we will be in Newark for 5 days, June 23rd through the 27th. For all the latest, check us out on our website, www.naca.com. Thank you guys. Have a great day.
Awesome. Have a good one. Be safe.